I'm Summer Morris, CPA, ex-corporate accounting girl and health coach turned CEO of a multi-six-figure business while helping others build financial security, healthier habits, and a better quality of life. It wasn't that long ago I lacked the confidence, the right plan, and time to focus on growing my small but mighty business while also having time for healthy activities I wanted to pursue away from my desk. Fast forward past many failures and lessons learned, and you'll see the healthier business and lifestyle I have today. One that changes lives while giving me more freedom than I ever thought possible. I created the Fit to Endure podcast to share simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. So if you're looking to feel better, live a healthier life without blowing your budget, start a side hustle, or train for your next race, this show will help you make an impact and achieve your goals without creating the overwhelm and burnout that makes you want to quit. You ready? Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome to episode 18 of the Fit to Endure podcast. How are you? For me, it's been about a month since my injury, the one I shared in episode 16, how I escaped from Alcatraz but got caught with a broken collarbone. Well, thankfully, I'm in a lot less pain, working through some new exercises the physical therapist gave me to do, and I have about 2.5 more weeks left in this sling, which can kind of feel like I'm wearing the same pair of socks every day. Gross, right? Especially as I've been sweating more. It's been triple-digit temperatures outside. I've been going to the gym, doing lower body exercises and abdominal work as long as I wear the sling, he says, and riding my bike on the stationary machine. So fortunately, I've been able to find a couple cheaper slings at a local drugstore that give my main one a break so I can wash it every couple days. I've also been reading a book recommended by the physical therapist. It's called Explain Pain by David Butler and Lorimer Mosley. I'll link it in the show notes. I'm fairly new to the book, but what I've learned so far is that the level of pain you feel doesn't necessarily equate to the level of damage in your body. The book also suggests that the more you understand pain, the less scared or fearful you can become when there is pain in the body or an opportunity for pain to be there. It's a neat, easy to understand book, and to reinforce the lessons even more, you can purchase a separate workbook. I'll be sure to link to both the book and the workbook in the show notes for this episode that you can find at summermorris.com/18. All right, today we're diving into department store credit cards and their zero interest promotional periods. Are they a good deal or just a debt trap in disguise? From there, I'll share an overview of Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps toward financial freedom and the pros and cons of this process. Let's dive in. Department stores, the magical places where you can find everything from the latest fashion trends to the newest gadgets. And what's this? At the checkout counter, the friendly cashier offers you a store credit card with a tantalizing promotional deal, 0% interest for 12 months. Too good to pass up, right? Well, today we'll uncover why these department store credit cards might be a fashionable mistake for your finances. The source of today's topic came from a new money coaching client I'm working with. Now, he gave me full permission to share his experience with you in hopes that others can avoid the situation he just found himself in. To protect his privacy, I'm going to use a pretend name. Let's call him Dan. A little over a year ago, Dan moved into a new apartment after accepting a newer job with a bigger paycheck. Rad, right? This new apartment was a big step up from his small, dark, sad apartment. He thought it would be great for hosting football potluck parties he's attended elsewhere, but was way too embarrassed to host in his former tiny apartment. To celebrate his move, he decided to let go of his tiny 3-butt sofa, nicknamed the Couch of Pain by his friends, and head to the mall to find something better. While sitting on different sofas at the local department store, I'll call it Tracy's, a friendly sales clerk informed him of a 12-month special event they were having in the furniture department. 0% deferred interest for 12 months on all furniture purchased that weekend, including the sofa Dan was sitting on. Well, Dan left that afternoon with the receipt for his new U-shaped sofa, complete with a chase lounge so he could kick his legs up after a hard day at work, which cost $1,992. More than Dan was planning to pay, but shoot, 12 months, 0 interest? Rad, right? We'll see. Well, fast forward to last week when I met Dan for our first money coaching session. His homework before our Zoom call was to download a copy of the most recent statements he had for all of his credit cards, loans, and bank accounts. To Dan's surprise, the credit card statement with that sofa purchase had an extra $704 of deferred interest charges. Yes, one monthly statement increased his $1,992 sofa to an extra $704 in interest for the deferred interest and listed an annual percentage rate of 31.99%. What's wild is that Dan's store credit card interest rate was lower on the day he made the sofa purchase, but the merchant increased his interest rate since then. Sure, it was listed on those monthly statements, but Dan wasn't opening them because he wasn't shopping anymore. He just went, well, I made that big purchase. I have the minimum monthly payment set up. I'm good, right? We'll see. Well, that means that Dan is not only on the hook for his extra $704 of deferred interest, but he's also about to pay 31.99% if he continues to make monthly payments and does not pay it off in full with that one statement he has in his hand. With the sound of defeat and embarrassment in Dan's voice, he said the deferred interest promotion had expired just 3 weeks before he grabbed that statement for our meeting. Is anyone else feeling a little extra stress or shock after hearing this experience? Here's the pitch Dan heard that day. Sign up for the store credit card, and you won't have to pay a cent of interest for an entire year. It's perfect for big ticket items like the new sofa. But there's a catch, a big one. Most of the cards, like the one Dan signed up for, come with what's called deferred interest. And if you're not careful, this can escalate your debt faster than you can say final sale. So what exactly is deferred interest? It's a somewhat sneaky financial mechanism. You won't be charged interest during your promotional period as long as you pay off the balance in full by the time the promotional period ends. However, if you fail to pay off every last cent by that deadline, brace yourself. Interest is charging retroactively in the back end from the date of your purchase on the entire purchase amount. That's right. You could be hit with months worth of interest all at once. They essentially take your original purchase price times the number of months of interest you would have had to pay and then shove it in one big statement for you, like Dan's $704 of interest. Let's break it down with Dan's sofa as an example. So Dan bought his new beautiful sofa for $1,992 on a zero interest for 12 months promotional offer. Now, if he diligently paid 1/12 of that $1,992 or $166 per month, he'd have cleared the balance just in time. But life happened. Utility bills and grocery bills for his new apartment were larger than before because of entertaining friends more, combined with inflation increasing the overall prices at the grocery store, and he didn't pay off the balance in full when the 12-month period ended. So 1 year plus 1 day after that sofa purchase, on day 366, he was slapped with deferred interest calculated on the full purchase price of the sofa, and his newest bill included deferred interest of $704. And to financially kick him while he was down, the following week, he received a notice from the department store saying his credit card rate was going up from 31.99% to 34.99% after his next statement. And mind you, Dan has excellent credit. His FICO score, early 800s, no joke. But this means that not only is he going to be charged $704 of deferred interest on that recent statement, but if he does not pay everything in full right now on that statement before the deadline, he will be charged 34.99% on the purchase of the sofa, whatever remains on the account, plus any interest until it's paid off or until they increase his rate again. Let's not forget that store credit cards have higher interest rates than standard credit cards. They range from 20% to 36%, setting an even larger financial trap if you don't pay your balance off by the promotional period ending date. You might be thinking, well, I'll definitely pay it off in time, but consider the unpredictability of life. Unexpected expenses, emergencies like the one I share in episode 16, or just forgetfulness. Any of these can derail your best laid plans. And it's not just deferred interest. Store credit cards often come with lower credit limits, making it easier to max out the card and negatively impact your credit score. How does it negatively impact? Well, just a high-level quick overview. I'll be sure to include this in an upcoming episode. But when it comes to your credit score, not only are they looking at how much credit card debt you have, they're also looking at how much credit card debt you have available. So the more debt you have in relation to how much you have available, the higher percentage of your available debt that you are using, that impacts your credit score. So it's not just looking at, am I making my payments on time? Am I being good with those? It's also looking at how much credit do I have available in all those different credit cards, all those different loans, and how much have I utilized that percentage? So the more you're using in relation to the total you have available, that higher percentage, the lower your credit score will be. Tricky, right? So maxing out that card negatively impacts your credit score. And this can affect your ability to get loans or other credit lines in the future. Plus, the higher your debt goes, lowering that credit score means that those credit card companies go, they're at a higher risk for not paying us back. And if that higher risk is one of their triggers, which it usually is, that means they can bump up your credit card rate even more, putting your financial health in greater jeopardy. That sucks. So what's the savvy shopper to do? First and foremost, carefully read the terms and conditions of any store credit card offer. Yes, even that tiny fine print. Go for it. Take a few moments and do it. If you still decide to take the plunge, set up reminders and automatic payments to ensure the balance is paid off within the promotional period. And don't do what Dan did by setting up the recommended minimum automatic payment amount listed on the credit card statement for the store credit card, which ironically was less than the $166 per month he needed to pay for 12 continuous months in order to pay off the sofa. An even better option would be to divide the purchase amount by 10 monthly payments instead of 12 to ensure the full purchase is paid off within the year. At the end of the coaching call with Dan, after I gave him some alternatives of how he could have purchased the sofa and avoided that big $700 interest hit using the what worked, what didn't work, and what would I do differently questions, Dan said he would have gone old school by saving up for the big purchase in a separate savings account and paying for the sofa in cash. He laughed, saying he would have used sitting on the couch of pain as the motivation to put more cash away. All right, let's switch gears and chat about Dave Ramsey's 7 steps to financial freedom and some of the pros and cons to this method after this brief commercial break. Are you an entrepreneur working nonstop in survival mode, trying to figure out how to increase sales and make more money? Is your unpredictable cash flow stressing you out? Do you avoid looking at your bills or bank balances because you feel overwhelmed by your money situation? Are you unsure how much to pay yourself, so you avoid doing it all together and instead use your business bank accounts for personal purchases? Well, imagine instead if you can look at your bank account balance with greater confidence. Pay yourself regularly every single month. What if you had a system in place, an easy system, for every dollar that came in? Some for you, some for expenses, and some set aside for the tax bill. Imagine if paying taxes was more of an inconvenience than a where am I going to find the money panic. And what if you had a proven method for eliminating debt? You can learn the simple steps to building your profit and cash flow roadmap in my group coaching program. It's called Steady Profits and Consistent Cash Flow. It's a 1-day live interactive workshop in Zoom with 2 separate 2-hour sessions for a total of 4 hours. It's recorded for later viewing, so if you're not able to attend live or just want to rewatch it, I like to say it's better than Netflix. You can learn more at summermorris.com/profits. That's summermorris.com/PROFITS. I'll see you inside. Welcome back. Let's talk about a popular topic, Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps for paying down debt. You've probably heard of these steps if you've been looking into personal finance for any length of time. If not, I've got your back, and I'm going to cover them here. A while back, I became a Dave Ramsey certified financial coach because I saw the value in some of his methods, which have helped many people. But like any financial strategy, they come with their own set of pros and cons. I'll break down each step, briefly discuss some of the benefits and drawbacks, and give you insights so you can decide if these steps could work for you. You can find the show notes for today's episodes, which includes a downloadable PDF of the 7 baby steps at summermorris.com/18. That's summermorris.com/ and the number 18. Let's start with a brief overview of the 7 baby steps for our friends who might be new to this concept. Number 1, save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. 4, save 15% of your household income in retirement. 5, save for your children's college fund. 6, pay off your home early. 7, build wealth and give. Let's kick things off with baby step number 1. Save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. Well, the pro here, it's a fundamental first step that gives people a small cushion in case of an immediate, unexpected expense like a car repair or a medical bill. A tip I share with my money coaching clients to develop their $1,000 emergency fund is the 20 for Emergencies savings plan. Open a new savings account and nickname it 20 for Emergencies. Then set up an automatic transfer so $20 is deposited into this new account every week. After 52 weeks, you'll have deposited $1,040 in the account. Cool, right? In a recent Forbes article published in May 2024, roughly 28% of Americans in their survey have less than $1,000 in personal savings, including emergency savings funds, non-workplace retirement accounts, and investments. The con for baby step number 1 is that in today's world, $1,000 may not cover many emergencies. Medical emergencies like the one I shared in episode 17 or major car repairs could easily exceed this amount, leaving you potentially vulnerable. Moving on to baby step number 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. Pro, the debt snowball method is where you pay off the smallest debt first. And after you pay off that small debt, whatever you're paying toward that first debt that's now paid off, you're going to take that money and apply it to whatever that second debt is. And once you pay off that second debt, then you're going to take the money you're paying toward the first and second debt and apply it to the third debt. So you're thus increasing that bigger snowball, like when the snowball rolls down the hill, and as it rolls down the hill, it collects more snow getting bigger and bigger. That's the debt snowball. So as you progress through the debt snowball method, as you pay off those debts from smallest to largest, you'll find that the payment you're applying toward the next debt is getting bigger and bigger. So cool. But the con for this is that this method usually doesn't tackle the highest interest debts first, like Dan's credit card issue with the sofa purchase, possibly costing you even more in interest over the long run. For example, using the debt snowball method, if Dan had 3 credit cards with $500 balance on one at a 5% interest rate, $1,000 balance on another one with 10% interest rate, and then the Tracy's credit card with a sofa on it, the debt snowball method would recommend that Dan pay off the $500 credit card balance first, then the $1,000 balance based on whichever card had the lowest balance before getting to the Tracy's store credit card, the one with that new 34.99% interest that Dan would be charged. It's easy to see how he could soon feel overwhelmed and defeated, as if he's never going to get out of the debt because the interest amount is so high. Because of this, critics suggest using the debt avalanche method, which targets the high interest debt first, like the credit card with Dan's sofa purchase on it, as a more cost-effective solution. Which method would work for you? Paying off the smallest credit card balance first, or paying off the larger one with the higher interest rate? Well, my friends, that depends on a few different factors. Let me know what you're thinking you would do and why you would choose one or the other, or if you have questions about this or would like me to explore this topic further in a future episode, email me at podcast@summermorris.com. Now, on to baby step number 3. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Pro, this step provides a much more solid safety net, protecting against larger financial emergencies like a job loss or significant medical expenses. Con, with low incomes or high expenses, building up this emergency fund could take considerable time, potentially delaying other financial goals. And if you're self-employed, it's recommended to have a much larger safety net than 3 to 6 months of expenses. Next is baby step number 4. Invest 15% of your household income in retirement. The pro, consistently investing in your retirement can secure your financial future and take advantage of compounding interest over time. But if you start this step later in life, 15% might not be enough to catch up for retirement savings, potentially requiring a higher percentage or additional investment strategies to get you where you need to be. By the way, if you haven't checked out episode 17, where I talk about a special tool I recommend for helping determine what your life would look like in retirement based on what you're saving now and what you would plan to spend in your retirement years, go check it out. summermorris.com/17 will take you to that episode. Pretty cool. All right. That brings us to baby step number 5. Save for your children's college fund. Pro, starting early on a college fund can greatly reduce or eliminate the need for student loans, setting your kids up for success without debt. However, prioritizing college savings over other financial goals such as retirement can be risky. Remember, there are no loans for retirement. Baby step number 6, paying off your home early. The pro, paying off your mortgage early can provide immense financial freedom, reduce overall interest costs, and make it easier to budget in your later years. However, this strategy diverts funds from potentially higher yield investments. Additionally, you might lose out on mortgage tax deductions and other financial opportunities. Lastly, baby step number 7, build financial wealth and give. Pro, once your debts are paid and savings are secure, you can focus on growing your wealth and giving back, which can be profoundly fulfilling. The con is prioritizing giving or investing could overshadow cautious financial planning. It's essential to find a balance that ensures long-term stability. There you have it, a balanced look at Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. They offer a structured and motivational plan toward financial health, but don't come without downsides. It's important to tailor any financial plan to your specific situation and goals. What works for one person might not work for another. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you build your personalized money plan, you can find a link to book your consultation with me at summermorris.com/18. It's important to note that everything provided in this episode is for your educational purposes only. It's not your personalized financial advice from me. That doesn't happen until we're working one-on-one. This wraps up today's episode of the Fit to Endure podcast. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this information helpful and it helps you make more empowered choices the next time you're tempted by that department store credit card or motivated to start paying down your debt, but are unsure what your next step should be. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast for more insights into managing your finances, stressing less, and feeling better. Don't forget, you can find the show notes for today's episode that includes the downloadable PDF of the 7 baby steps at summermorris.com/18. That's summermorris.com/ and the number 18. Happy smart shopping and namaste.